It's been a while since I have taken a vacation. I am driving my Jeep, heading towards the quiet resort town of Silent Hill. The sound of the engine reverberates in the darkness. Due to some slight car trouble earlier, it has become this late. I am Harry Mason. I am a run-of-the-mill writer. Her eyes closed, Cheryl sleeps peacefully in the passenger seat. Cheryl is my daughter. She is cheerful and lively, and the occasional carefree smiles she shows me make me feel happy. I don't have very many relationships with people because of what I do for a living, so Cheryl's existence has become irreplaceable to me. Cheryl was very much looking forward to this trip. Although paved, this is still very much a mountain road. At this hour there is little reason for any other drivers to be about. I push in the accelerator. There is no light off in the darkness. I can depend only on my headlights. Light reflects off the rear view mirror. It's a motorcycle. There is a motorcycle headed toward the same destination as we are at. Terrific speed at this late hour. With a roar, the motorcycle effortlessly passes by the side of my Jeep. The seal of the police. Perhaps there has been an accident or something. But I don't recall hearing about an accident or anything on the radio. Cheryl is sleeping. A child should not be awake at this hour. I wonder if she is dreaming about something. Tomorrow I have planned to take her to the amusement park. Maybe she is dreaming about riding the merry-go-round. I glance over at Cheryl's sleeping face and then return my eyes forward. The lighted area of the road almost appears to be belched out from the darkness as it moves toward me. Something enters my field of view. It's the motorcycle from just before. It is lying on its side on the shoulder of the road. No doubt about it, it's the same motorcycle that just passed me. There is no sign of the driver. It looks like the driver smashed into the surface of the rocks by the side of the road while trying to avoid some kind of obstacle, and thus that part of the motorcycle has been destroyed. I carefully check the way in which my vehicle is headed. However, I don't see anything that could be an obstacle to my advance in the area illuminated by the headlights. A strange atmosphere creeps in around me. The radio reception begins to become erratic. Perhaps I should turn back? But my foot persistently pushes down the accelerator with no intention of letting off. You can no longer turn back now. Something murmurs within me. Please increase your speed some more. Someone murmurs within me. Cheryl's eyes are closed. She is dreaming. I know that I should be awake. But what is this uneasy feeling? I feel as if my body is not totally my own. It's like someone, some strange being that is not me, is controlling me, like I am floating. My eyelids are heavy. As the steering wheel leaves my hand, it creates the illusion of setting the course on its own. Freezing cold. Uneasiness. Almost like being ready to fall asleep. I am just barely conscious, and now my limit to maintain even that. When I saw the human figure on the road, I cut the wheel hard, and then there was nowhere else for my Jeep and I to go but down into the darkness below the cliff. Fog. The silence pierces my ears. As the wind blew, it was accompanied by piercing cold. Where am I? I can feel light faintly passing through my eyelids. I don't seem to be hurt. That much is clear to me because I don't feel any pain in my body. No, perhaps I've suffered an injury that doesn't cause any pain. I slowly try opening my heavy eyelids. Out-of-season snow is pouring into the town. Other than the sound of droplets of ice hitting the ground, there is nothing else to be heard. Silent Hill. That is what is assuredly written on the sign by the side of the road. Without realizing it, Cheryl and I have reached our destination. All my memories up to that point are gone. The wind is blowing in. When I take a look next to me, I am shocked. The passenger door has been left open. Cheryl is nowhere to be seen. Silent Hill. This town, which should just be a resort area, appears to have become just like a ghost town for some reason, or maybe it was waiting for us to arrive, or perhaps the town just nestled up to us. So now I am alone. Cheryl is not here. While I was sleeping, no, while I was knocked out, Cheryl opened the passenger door and stepped out alone into this tourist spot that is ruled by an unsettling silence. And then she left me to head somewhere. I tightly closed my jacket around my neck and set off on foot in search of Cheryl. I wonder what in the world happened here? Nothing makes any sense. The silence, the out-of-season snow. And strangest of all, the entire town is wrapped in a thick fog. I begin to run. Only the sounds of my footsteps echo in the surroundings. Just where in the world has Cheryl gone? Did someone lead her away? Various concerns run through my mind. Ta-ta-ta-ta, onomatopoeia for footsteps. I suddenly get the feeling that I heard footsteps other than my own, so I stop. Moving right away to check it out. Through the thick fog I can see a figure that is about the size of a child. Cheryl. Without a thought I cry out. The figure doesn't move at all. At the moment I begin to move slowly towards the figure, it starts to run. I fiercely chase after the figure. That's definitely Cheryl. Even though it is faint, I would not mistake someone else for Cheryl. However, no matter how much I run I cannot catch up. Instead the figure is gradually getting farther away from me. The figure puts on speed as if it is gliding through the air. The figure appears to be absorbed by the fog as it begins to disappear. In order not to lose it, I run with all my strength while keeping my vision centered on the figure. I then notice that I have come to an alley surrounded by buildings. I don't know how, but it is like a cover was placed over the sky, which had provided light until now, and the area has become engulfed in darkness. From the darkness I can hear multiple footsteps coming this way. I am going to get out of here. I don't have anything with me that can be used as a weapon. I've got to get away. But I can't go back the way I came, because that eerie presence is back there. So I move further in. I can only move gradually through the narrowing pitch-black alley by feeling around with my hands. But I only end up reaching a dead end. Metal fences surround the area, and they are so high that I don't think that I can climb over them. They are coming from behind. I stood ready. What are they? With beast-like rage, they have closed in to right where I am. Ah. And then my vitality is sucked away by these strangely shaped monsters until I finally lose consciousness. Sybil Bennett. She is a full-time police officer working in the neighboring town of Brahms. There was no one else in the cafe other than her and Harry. She took a seat at the counter and waited for Harry to awaken. Harry wakes up in Cafe 5 to 2. I suddenly awoke. Where is this place? Why am I here? Was I brought here by someone? There is no boundary between dream and reality, just confusion. As I lay on the bench seat in the cafe my eyes slowly begin to focus. The woman sitting at the counter stands and folds her arms. She walks over and looks down at me. She is wearing a police uniform. The woman smiles a little bit, as she appears to be relieved that I have regained consciousness. It looks like you have come around. Who are you? I try talking to the unfamiliar woman. I'm Sybil Bennett. I'm here because all communication with this town suddenly went dead and so I came to investigate. I'm Harry Mason. I brought my daughter to this town for some sightseeing, but on the way there was an accident and I lost consciousness. Oh, yeah, Sybil, you haven't seen a little girl in this town, have you? A little girl? No, I haven't seen her. When I came to after the accident my daughter was nowhere to be seen. The passenger door was open and she was gone. Cheryl, sorry, my daughter's name is Cheryl. She is a timid person, so it is hard to imagine that she headed out into this weird town alone. Plus I was there in the driver's seat. And since she gave me no warning, it just doesn't make sense. Are you familiar with this area? There is no sign of anyone, and what is going on with the snow at this time of year? Just what in the world has happened in this town? I said all of this while breathing deeply. I'm afraid I don't know either. I still haven't seen anyone other than you. It's like the town is as silent as a graveyard, left without even the means to contact any neighboring towns. I see. You also had an accident, right? I thought it was a good idea to head to the police station in this town alone on my motorcycle, but I guess I was going a little too fast. A girl suddenly jumped out into the road. I am pretty sure it was a girl. I almost hit her. I cut the handlebars hard in order to avoid her. After that I can barely remember anything. When I came to, I was lying in the street in front of this cafe. So naturally I came in here to get out of the snow. And then I found you sleeping there. I was having some kind of a terrible dream. As for if I made it here on my own, I don't remember at all. Just what in the world has happened in this town? What is going on with everything? Well, the situation is definitely strange. I will head back to Brahms for reinforcements, and then return here. How about you? Sybil stood and fixed her collar with resolute fortitude. I've got to look for Cheryl. There is no way I can just leave her here alone. I see. Well, I'll give you this then. You never know what might happen under these circumstances. If you feel threatened, then pull the trigger without hesitating. I take the gun into my hand. Thanks, I hope I don't have to use it. Having never handled a handgun before, I am surprised by how heavy it is. But will you be alright? I'm not like the average girls around here. I have undergone proper training. Sybil placed her hand on the exit door, but then she turns and faces me again. Harry, don't go shooting me by mistake or anything. I haven't had any training on how to stop bullets. She smiled after saying this and then disappeared into the thick fog. After being left alone in the cafe, I gazed at the handgun Sybil gave me for a little while. And then I thought about Cheryl, who had disappeared in this town. The figure I saw in the fog. That was definitely Cheryl. But she didn't answer my calls, and she was quite possibly moving away from me. I don't understand. I am getting a bit mixed up. Still, the one thing I know for sure is that Cheryl has vanished in this town. All I can do is look for her. I may not have any knowledge of the surroundings or any clues, but I won't find Cheryl if I stay here. I stood up energetically and placed my hand on the cafe door. GGG, GG, GGG, onomatopoeia for radio static. Something is making noise. GGGG, GGGG, GG, onomatopoeia for radio static. Noise is coming from somewhere. What is that noise? It's somewhere outside the cafe. Outside? I open the door and hurry out into the street. The snow still continues to fall. I breathe in the cold outside air and it feels like waking up. The noise I just heard until now had stopped. Is the wind drowning it out? My question was soon answered. Through the glass I can see that a radio has been placed on top of a table inside the cafe. Is it that? I immediately went back inside the cafe. The noise has stopped. Thinking that it may come in handy for something, I slide the portable radio into my pocket and once again walk toward the cafe's exit. After leaving the cafe, I decided to first head toward that alley from before. Black figures fly about in the heavens as if searching for prey. I then come to realize a constant. The static on the radio changes based on their movements. The closer the monsters come to me, the louder the static gets. My sight is hindered by the fog, and on top of that the weather is so bad that snow is falling. So this is extremely important information. I run through the snow that appears to have no intention of stopping. Increasing my speed each time the static comes in on the radio, I proceed into the fog. Following the thin thread of my memory, I finally arrive at the alley from before. The evil atmosphere has dissipated and light pours in along with snow from in between the buildings. I move into the alley and it dead ends after a bit. At the end of the alley I see a familiar sketchbook that appears to have been thrown away. The likeness of me that Cheryl drew is on the cover of the sketchbook. This is definitely Cheryl's. I try opening it. Inside, the following is written in red ink. to school. Along Levin Street I slip through the back door of a house that had a doghouse and then head for the school. The surroundings gradually fill with darkness and only the flashlight on my chest illuminates this strange street. I pass through the entrance to the elementary school grounds. When I open the door that leads into the school building I see that even more darkness is waiting for me inside. It is possible that Cheryl scribbled those letters to school. I can't be sure whether Cheryl is here or not. It's just that I haven't a clue other than that sketchbook. A guide map of the school has been tacked to the side wall of the entrance with a rusted thumbtack. After removing the map from the wall I place it in my pocket and push open the heavy door that leads into the interior of the school building. My footsteps, and the creaking of the hallway. They sound like screams as their reverberations rock my eardrums. I had been walking carefully step by step, but without realizing it I had began to run. There is no sign of anyone. The silent innards of the school building are dark, and with only the flashlight on my chest it is impossible for me to see any of the details. Cheryl doesn't have a flashlight, so if she came in here and got lost then she probably wouldn't even be able to walk around. Since I have my flashlight turned on she should be able to notice me easily. At least I have that modest hope. I then notice that I have come to the entrance to the music room. I place my hand on the heavy door. When I open the door I see that the inside of the room is large and there is a grand piano placed in its center. As I sit on the chair of the piano I am shocked. The seat is still warm, as if someone had been sitting here just a few minutes before. Cheryl's smile runs through the back of my mind. Cheryl often played the cheap upright piano in our home. It had become nice background music when I was working. Perhaps Cheryl had come to the music room. I gently open the cover over the piano keys. I notice that there is red mixed in among the black and white. I try touching the liquid. It has a lukewarm feel. It is still holding heat. It is definitely blood. My heart pounds in my chest like an alarm bell. The large amount of blood spilled on the keys. If this is Cheryl's blood then she may no longer be alive. I wipe the stain off my hands onto my jeans, stand, and leave the music room. At the same time I closed the door thought I heard someone scream. Maybe it was just my imagination. I walk down the hallway. The sleety mixture of snow pounds hard against the windows facing the courtyard. I take a look through a window down at the dark courtyard. The not-so-large courtyard is dotted with areas in which withered plants are growing. In addition to that an old clock tower is faintly visible. From here I cannot determine what time the clock is pointing to. Wait. Something appears to be wriggling about in the darkness. An animal? No, it's dark and I can't see so well, but it is slowly moving on two legs. It appears to be searching for prey. GGGG, onomatopoeia for radio static. At that moment the radio I had clipped to my chest suddenly began making noise. As I return my sight to the hallway a sharp pain runs through my thigh. When I look down I see that the tips of those long claws are piercing my thigh. Those oddly shaped monsters. They are posed like they want to hug me and have gathered around my waist. They are about to bite me. Readied the handgun and fired. I instantaneously readied the handgun I was carrying and fired at the monster. Ow. I hit it, but its long claws dug deeper into my thigh, widening the wound. With my right hand I push on its head part with force and knock it away. It then totters and falls down on its face. That was when I noticed that I had been completely surrounded by those monsters. I ready the gun. I fix my aim on their heads and pull the trigger with my trembling index finger. I continue to shoot as each one of them appears. The smoke from the gunpowder began to fill the air around me so I placed one hand over my mouth. Even after the noise from the radio had stopped I could only stand there, paralyzed in utter amazement among their corpses. Is Cheryl all right? She shouldn't have been carrying anything that could be used as a weapon. I begin running. I can't just stand around. There is not a moment to lose. Cheryl is waiting for me. Wait a minute. Suddenly my vision became hazy or something and I rubbed my eyes. When I look back, I see that all the bodies of the monsters have unexpectedly vanished. What? Was I hallucinating or something? I pull the guide map out of my inner pocket and shine the flashlight on it. And then I confirm that there is a boiler room located in the basement. My feet naturally began to take me there. I descend the stairs to the basement taking one step at a time. A school building without light. As I move forward I am beset on all sides by absolute darkness. As I head towards new fear and new enemies my feet have no intention of stopping their advance. But oddly enough I don't have a sense of justice. I just want to make sure that Cheryl is safe. To catch her in my arms. That is my only goal. The boiler is not running. If I simply press the switch in front of me, then this eerie machine should begin operating. However, I just stand still. I try pushing the switch, but the boiler doesn't do anything at all. So I try opening the switchboard cover below the switch. It appears that I must somehow supply power from the main power supply to the boiler. The power supply is on the right. From the left of the switchboard, a thick pipe extends out and is connected to the boiler.